Hello, everyone. Just let me double check if you hear and see both of us well.
Can you hear me?
Uh, yeah, yeah, good. Please put a plus if our visitors are hearing us in chat. Yeah, seems good. Awesome. Let us thank you for joining us today. We are holding a joint webinar together with our technology partner, Euro's technology partner, Gurtam company, who are the provider for fleet management platform. Today with me is Sergey Govorunov, Wialon implementation consultant. Say hi to everyone.
Hi to everyone. Thank you, Maxim.
Yeah. Great, thanks. And we will talk about quite widespread topic for fleet management companies, which is cargo transportation. But what we will try to do is to highlight some extra value features which might be hidden inside the advanced telematics, which both of us obviously present. So yeah, this is actually would be the topic of our conversation. Probably most of you know those possibilities, know those features that we present. But however, we will try to make something new, try to give you an idea on what else might be done in order to enhance fleet management systems of your current or potential cargo transportation companies' clients. So just once again, my name is Maxim. Today with me is Sergey from Gurtam. Small organizational part at the beginning. Webinar agenda, we will talk about cargo transportation, GPS monitoring, what are the main tasks and what are the main challenges and the solutions. What is special about Galileosky and Wialon conjunction for cargo transportation. And we will also talk about the real user case which has been implemented on the combination of Galileosky plus Wialon. So the webinar would be about 60 minutes long. Record of the webinar will be sent to the email which you have used during the registration process. So no matter if you don't have the opportunity to visit it online or our future webinars online, do not forget to register just to get this record automatically. So, and in case you have any questions related to our topic today, please feel free to ask them in the question tab, and we will answer them after our webinar finished. It is in the upper right corner, and you might ask it. You might ask your questions there. There is also the chat for you to discuss the thoughts and ideas about this specific topic or about our presentation. But if you don't mind, please ask the question on the questions tab. It is marked with the question mark. So we'll have the opportunity to answer one by one and to not miss any of your questions there. So let's start with the context and with the main part of our presentation. What about cargo transportation and GPS monitoring, and why actually fleet management companies or fleet companies are coming for a fleet management system, and what are the main tasks that they are pursue when implementing GPS tracking in their companies. So well, obviously the information is the key. So no one wants to have their assets under control. So fleet management system helps to keep an eye on the fleet, to get the knowledge of what happens with the vehicles, what happens with the drivers, what happens with the cargo. So, and there are different parts of the system and the different parts of the process, of the business process of fleet management, of fleet companies that are crucial for them in order to make the operational decisions or to cut their costs. So the most important amongst others are probably those that are displayed on the slide. So the operational costs that are obviously the tires, one of the most expensive and short lasting parts of the truck. So fleet management system helps to give information on the conditions of the tires. So it means that it prevents premature tire wear, so it saves the costs. Obviously, one of the main part of the expenses of any fleet company, of any cargo transportation company in the world is the fuel, and just having the information about the fuel which is in the tank of the vehicle helps a lot. But also we can think of monitoring refuels and excluding fuel drains, which is essential as well. Some other parts are concerned with not with not economical driving of the drivers. So, for example, if we know that one specific driver drives the vehicle on high RPMs every time, we know that this driver causes us extra costs, which we should not pay. And the fleet management system helps to highlight this information to the managers, so they know that something is wrong with one specific vehicle or one specific driver. Also, it's essential to warn all those people who are responsible um, about need to undergo my maintenance. So in case there is some, um, if we overdo it, it will lead to unnecessary breakage of the vehicle and eventually extra costs again. So notifying everyone that are responsible about something is wrong with the vehicle is essential. And also preventing weight overload helps to reduce the costs and helps to reduce the fines if there are some laws that uh, that limit and restrict some overload to one specific vehicle. So also the challenge for the fleet company is to shorten the way of delivery to get faster from point A to point B, and this is where fleet management system helps as well. So we can give the idea of how long does the road take and how to shorten it, and it's very crucial because the fewer kilometers we pass, the less expenses we have on the same delivery. Um, there are some obvious features that help do that, like online location data. There's also the possibility to monitor toll road mileage and route tracking. We can also track and control delivery by the means of polygonal on actually any type of geofences. And we can reduce the number of empty runs without any cargo and unauthorized routes when the driver uses the vehicle not for the company's sake. So this is what we also can do in order to optimize the mileage that one specific vehicle passes. And this is one important feature that helps become more efficient, that helps fleet companies to save their costs. We would also stress out the idea of keeping cargo safe. So there are a lot of cargo transportation companies that deal with quite special type of goods, perishable, fragile, very expensive, premium products, something that requires some certain conditions of transportation. And fleet management system helps to maintain those conditions and helps to avoid the loss of the cargo. Here are some examples of the solutions that that we are presenting and that our customers and our partners actually present to their customers. For example, we can think of providing the access to cargo for approved staff only. Only those drivers or people who have authorized keys are capable of opening the truck and capable of having the access to goods. It's crucial for some expensive products which should not be lost during the loading and unloading process by unauthorized personnel. We can also think of creating the photo and making the photo when cargo weight is changing. So you know that there is this feature for Galileosky devices which um, which is actually taking the snapshots of what happens, and we can create quite comprehensive script that will make the photo each time when the weight of cargo is being changed. For perishable goods and for cold chain transportation, it's very crucial to track temperature of the cargo. But we are thinking not only about tracking the temperature, we are thinking about maintaining temperature as it should be in the refrigerator compartment. Also, we are thinking not only about tracking the temperature of the goods, but also about the state and conditions of the refrigerator equipment. What is the RPM there? What is the fuel level there? Whether the doors are open? Are there any specific errors? This is all the information that might be important for the customer in order to reduce their cost on cold chain transportation. This is what we can provide by using advanced equipment and advanced software. The next crucial part in this specific topic, which is most crucial for fragile goods, is controlling the driver style. But it's not actually only for fragile, but the most crucial for fragile, yes. So when we transport fragile cargo, it's very important that the driver will not violate eco driving rules. So they will not overspeed or over accelerate. So they will drive smoothly, not taking any risks, and keep the goods safe, keep the cargo safe. This is one important task that they have, and we should track it, and the customer should track it, and we should provide this opportunity. And eco driving is done for that. You're tracking accelerations, brakings, cornerings, and some other parameters which are important. But not only tracking actually, but also warning the driver that that he is violating some of the rules. So we are having the opportunity to create audible notifications of a zoomer, buzzer, or audio files playing in cabin, so the driver will know real time that he's doing something wrong, overspeeding, over accelerating, or harsh braking, doing something else. Yeah, we are keeping the cargo safe, and it's important to notify the dispatcher, the driver, and someone else if someone breaks into the truck, if there is some intruder that tries to steal the goods. And this is the solution that might attract some specific customers to implement fleet management system on their vehicles. In Galileosky, we also believe that fleet management system doesn't consist only of GPS tracker and GPS platform, fleet management platform. It is also about getting the driver involved into this process, and we believe that this is important because the driver is actually the cause of savings or losses. So the way the driver behaves actually leads to money expenses or money profit. So this is when we think that we should get them involved and get them informed about how they perform. There are some essential features like driver ID with iButton and RFID, which I believe most of you are using. There are also some features which are quite widespread. For example, starting the engine after verification only with authorized key. We also think of some special features like monitoring work and rest time, whether for the law, let's say so, which is actually transmitting DDD files from tachographs, and we are having this feature obviously, or just to keep it safe once again. We are to be sure, and the companies to be sure that their drivers are well rested and having a good health and are having good conditions to drive the vehicle. So the device itself might count how long the driver is driving and when he should take a rest. So we can do this as well. And obviously it's important to track, to avoid fees and to avoid extra expenses on fuel, for example, keeping the track of the speed. Not actually I mean fines, expenses for fuel and accidents expenses. Keeping the track of the speed is also important, and not only having one specific limit, but also adjusting it according to different conditions like weather, time of day, or the type of vehicle, or whatever, or driver who is driving actually. So we are having the opportunity to adjust those limits and inform the driver once again if they violate some specific limits according to certain conditions. So here in Russia, it's important to warm up the car before they drive in the winter. So we can do the same by command from the smartphone for air conditioning or for warming up the car. So this is the feature which is there also. And in some cases, it's important to get voice communication over push to talk between the driver and dispatcher via GPS tracker. And we have this feature as well. So in case something is wrong with the vehicle or the cargo, or dispatcher says that there are some tasks that are assigned to the driver, they can get connected over the tracker, and it's possible. Well, we are talking about all these features, quite special, I guess, not met in the daily life. Probably not all of them have been deployed by you to your customers. So this is the idea is just that we share that might be done with Galileosky equipment, and here why can be done. There are some special features which we have in the devices, like CAN scanner feature, which helps to get any CAN data from any vehicle which is available in the truck. So by transmitting a lot of information, we can get a lot of results and a lot of different solutions. So with CAN scanner, no matter what vehicle is, we are having the opportunity to get and decrypt the desired parameters. We are also talking about tracking when there are no GSM coverage, and there are some cases when it is important to get telematics data, but there is no way to deliver it efficiently because there's no GSM on the object or in specific region or whatever. We have some solutions based on either satellite or Wi-Fi that help in these particular cases. So this is what we suggest using when we cannot have regular GSM coverage and we cannot have regular channel for communication between the tracker and the server. Also, we are talking about sending notification, but not from the platform side, but by the device itself. It's important because when we send it by the device, we can also send an identification to the driver, which we, once again, let me repeat this part, which we believe is essential part of fleet management system. So even if there is no GSM, we should send him violation if something is wrong, and this is what we can do. Also, to enhance the system, to make something else that nobody has done before, sometimes we should get some customized sensors connected. It's very good if those sensors are connected over some standard interfaces like analog, pulse, frequency, or discrete, but also but what if it comes to serial ports like RS-232 and RS-485? In most of the cases, the sensors should be integrated by the manufacturer of the GPS device, but we are having easy logic where it is built-in feature that you are, as the provider, having the opportunity to create the script to support the new peripheral which we have not yet supported. So it's possible to connect the equipment which we have not connected before by your efforts, just in the way you would like to be done. And as I already have mentioned, easy logic, this is the most important part about Galileosky probably, and why we are talking about the special features and special solutions which create extra value. And easy logic is the comprehensive tool to create such scenarios for device operation. And it enhances the functionality by creating some easy drag and drop algorithms right in the configurator of the tracker. I will show how it looks like on some simple scripts. Here I have two actually. access to cargo by authorized staff only. So I have described this feature previously. And I have speed limits control depending on time and weather conditions. Just let us get some small vote, which script should be described by me. If you are voting for the first one, access to cargo by authorized staff only, put 1 in chat. If the second one, speed limits, put 2. And we will just go briefly through one. Just waiting for your answers in chat. Let me know which one is more interesting for you, and the solution would be described too. Any other guesses? All right. Just specially for Natalie, I will start with the second and finish with this one. All right. Here is one specific comprehensive script. The task is to change the speed limit, which will play audio file to the driver while he is in the cabin when he violates the road limit. Not road limit, actually, the speed limit. The challenge is that we should change those speed limits based on several conditions. First condition, the weather, if it rains or not. The second condition, what is the time of the day? Early morning, well, working time actually, or night. Well, first on the first part, yeah, we also always start with. I will switch on my pointer. We always start with device start. Actually, this is when the device is switched on and we start running the algorithm. Here we are checking if it rains or not. It can be checked by different ways actually. First way, yeah, we have described the easiest one. We just received the command from dispatcher, it rains now, and each time when this command is run, or if, yeah, there could be actually even different levels of rain, 1 to 3. Severe rain is 3 and 1 is light rain. But let's presume that there is only one rain and we should change the limit if just some few drops has fallen. We are having we have received the command which runs us through branch. Well, let's start that we have not received the command. It is false. So which means that is equal to 0. We have not yet received the command. Then we are checking the time. If this value is actually in seconds from 12 a.m. And we are checking if the time is more than 28,800 seconds. If false, if true, then we check if it's below 79,200 seconds, which is actually the evening. If it is true as well, the speed limit is 90, and we go next. But if one of these conditions is false, it is early morning or late evening or night, we are going to the false branch, just like we go in case we receive the command that is raining now. And then in this condition, speed limit is 60. Instead of having the command of rain, we might have other external condition that might lead this specific that might run or trigger this specific algorithm. For example, getting the data from CAN bus about switching on the rain sensor in the vehicle, or just switching on and switching off wind screeners and just getting some analog signal out of that. So quite comprehensive algorithm that can be adjusted based on the requirements. Then we go with quite essential procedure. We are checking if the coordinates received by the tracker are valid, if everything is fine. If not, we are returning to the beginning. If it is valid, we are checking the speed, if it exceeds speed limit described here or here. If false, nothing happens, we run this algorithm again. But if it is true, we play audio file which has been preloaded to the tracker save extra point saying that, okay, here he was the overspeeding, wait for 1 second, for 10 seconds actually, and return to the beginning of again. So again, if we have received the command, we are checking the speed limit, we are setting the speed limit, we are checking if the coordinates valid, checking the speed limit, playing audio file, saving point again. So quite comprehensive and easy algorithm which helps to make eco-driving system more flexible and the driver more involved, and reduce fines, reduce accidents rate, and save some money actually. So the good news also that both of the scripts, even if I have not described the first one, but both of the scripts would be provided to all of the visitors of today's webinar, and everyone who has registered will receive them along with the record of this webinar. So to the email actually which you have mentioned in the registration process. So feel free to use it. Feel free to enhance your fleet management system based on Galileosky equipment. All right, I will. It will run probably on Galileosky 7X and 7 Plus, but I guess no on any devices. But these are two devices which we suggest for using in cargo transportation. They were launched not long time ago, but they become a bestseller due to high functionality and wide set of features. I will not stop for describing all those features. They might be checked here on the slide on our website. And will pass my word to Sergey, who is waiting for it, I guess. Yeah, Sergey will show how it looks like in Wialon eventually.
Thank you so much, Maxim. Thank you for your beautiful presentation. I really like the easy logic feature because it's even possible to configure like fatigue driving, for example, that the driver should go, say, for every 4 hours, it must stop for 30 minutes. So we can even configure this algorithm. If driver violates this time, we will work on rest time, then we can send an event to Wialon. So during my part, I'm going to present Wialon features based or used for the cargo transportation for a great customer of our partner in South Africa. The customer is involved in the coaching transportation, and the notorious name, the Spar company, Spar Logistics, and the partner is Trailer Soul from South Africa. So now I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Yeah, that's Wialon. And first of all, I'd like to show the capabilities used, plus I would like to explain it from 3 perspectives. Plus, at the end, I'm going to show you what possible can be done to enhance the efficiency of the fleet. So I usually start with the 3 main aspects. This is monitoring, notifications, and the reports. Monitoring is the simple observation. You can watch the vehicles on the map. The notifications is the very sophisticated thing, like easy logic. It's possible to create different scenarios, and when something happens to the vehicle, the system will alert the user, or it will run some action to the tracking device to activate the outputs. And the reports are a great tool, customizable with the customizable report templates. So you can create your own document report templates with different information. So for the first part, for the online monitoring, I'll start with the monitoring tab. So this is basically the most common tab that you're going to work. On the list represented all the vehicles grouped. So there is the pool of vehicles. When you click on the icon, it's possible for you to get information about it. So like we can get the sensor values. It's a great thing that Galileosky has a CAN reader. Plus, it's possible to integrate any additional peripherals using the easy logic. So for us, we can get a lot of sensors here, a lot of parameters. And based on the parameters, we can create different sensors. So like engine ignition sensor, the fuel total for the vehicle, and the current gear activated, the RPM, the harsh braking, like a lot of things we can do here. On Wialon, it's simple to do this. We have the sensors tab, and at the sensors tab, you just specify the parameter that must be used, and then you specify the sensor type, and plus you can use different validators to interconnect the sensors. So actually, that's how it works. Apart from this, for example, it's not useful sometimes to monitor all the vehicles all the time. So it's possible for us to create a locator link, a special feature that allows you to just to monitor specific vehicles. So you can see here the specific group. At store, it means that the vehicles that enter the store area will automatically place to this specific geofence. And then we're going to generate the link using the locator feature. It's just a link that you can open in a new tab. And currently we can see these two vehicles at the specific store with the sensor values. So basically you can see the fridge discharge air and fridge return air. So actually it's quite useful for the fleet owner or for the guy responsible to monitor the vehicles. Another thing here that I'd like to show you is the drivers. Again, with the help of the Galileosky devices, possible to associate the driver non-GPS object with the vehicle. It can be done using the iButtons or RFID cards or any other technology. So on Wialon, we're going to have the drivers, this tab, and it's possible to create the pool of the drivers. Every particular driver will have the phone number, its internal description. You can use any information in the custom fields, and as a result, on the monitoring tab, when you click on the icon of the vehicle, it's possible for you to get information of the driver currently assigned. So probably this for this vehicle, this specific driver is currently assigned. This is something that you can do, just observe the vehicles. Another part is the notifications. The notification, I call it the trigger action system. So the system will look for the parameters and sensors of the tracking device, and if the sensor values or the location of the vehicle is out of the specific area or the sensor out of the specific range or both, then the system will execute an action. So I'll show you how it works. So we're going to have, so first of all, we need to select the vehicle or the group of vehicles here. You probably know it, of course. And then there are different trigger types can be used. So the most useful, I think, this is the geofence, because it's possible to select the specific location, which can be area, plus the specific speed of the vehicle and the sensor value. So there are a lot of scenarios that can be used by this trigger type. For example, we can monitor the deviation from the route. So basically, we can create a geofence, a route, and then if the vehicle leaves the geofence, the dispatcher will get notified. The same thing for the, let's say we need to monitor that the doors in the specific areas like closed or cannot be open for more than 10 minutes. So using this thing, it's possible to do. What is more, for example, the speeding, it's possible to create the specific geofences and create the notifications that will look for the speed limits and the specific zones. What is more, like speeding violations, it's a very great tool here. You can use the fixed speed limits or road speed limits. So we get the data from the maps, we get the limits from the all roads, and then it's possible to define what is the tolerance between. And for the next step, it's possible for us to perform the action. So basically the system will do something about when the vehicle in the trigger state. So there are purely notifications, so you can send notification by email, telegram, SMS, or mobile application. on the pop-up window here. Also, it is possible to save this notification as an event. So actually, all the notifications can be viewed later on in the reports. And another thing that I really like, this is the executed commands. So actually, using this thing, it's possible to reconfigure a tracking device or change the specific algorithm in it, or probably it's possible to activate the output that is bounded to a relay, some other equipment. Also, there is an interesting thing, I call it dynamic groups. So we can modify unit groups. So when something happens, the vehicle in the trigger state, then we're going to place the vehicle in the specific group. And then there can be created another notification that will work with this specific unit group. So using this technology, we can kind of, it's like an easy logic, but on the software side. So it is useful when you'd like to solve some difficult tasks. And of course, it is possible to send requests to the third-party server. So probably in some cases, actually this particular client, he uses the software to perform the routing, or like a dashboards that like to calculate the visited points and all this information. So using these plus GET requests, it's possible to push the notification message to this website, and then this message will be analyzed there and implemented. So actually, there are a lot of notifications that are used by the partner. So actually, for example, information about the door opening or speeding violation, excessive idling of the vehicle. But all right, this is deactivated. Also, fuel probe disconnected. Probably fuel thefts, of course, and the panic buttons, the speeding detection, and also, for example, the connection loss to the server. So there are a lot of different triggers that can be implemented to give you an idea what's going on with the vehicle. And of course, it's possible to create a specific unit group, and then the fleet owner will just look for this unit in this group to perform some actions. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, so feel free to pass them into the question tab on the webinar, and we'll be happy to answer them. All right. What is more here? Like ignition again, the stoppage, idling, and all this information. So I think that you got the idea. Another thing I'd like to show you is the reporting system. So for the reporting system, we're going to have different templates available. These report templates, like the document, these documents, report templates, we call them, can be filled with different information, with different content. So these different table types. It can be table types and charts to visualize the information. So the idea here that everything is customizable. You can shuffle these tables, you can rename them. It's possible you go here, you can rename the sensors, apply the calculator to perform simple math between the columns. Plus, you can go to the settings of each of the table type and specify the sensors or some other criteria you'd like to display in these report templates or in this table type. Here, I'd like to show you 3 report templates. This specific customer is interested in the efficiency of the fleet, and I would say 2 ways. The first one, efficiency of the vehicle in terms of the fuel, better fuel and more mileage. So the customer monitors the fuel consumption on the vehicle. By the way, he creates the target consumption. You can see on the units in the custom fields. This is the target consumption for the vehicle. Here's here 26 liters per 100 kilometers. So, and then it's possible using getting data from the CAN bus actually to compare what is the actual and what is the target. For example, I've got the report template, which is the consumption, I believe. Yes, I will execute the report for 5 days. There are some vehicles with the that can get data from the CAN bus. Some of them, they will not show it to us. Maybe they're in the process of configuration. So let me show you. So there are different table types that already add to these report templates. These. So you can see all the trips, and these trips are represented on the map as different markers. By the way, you can customize these markers. So this is our results. These are different trips. So the trips, we can see the grouping by every vehicle. There are different trips and the driver assigned. Plus here we can see the average consumption by canvas and the fuel consumed by canvas. Also the revolutions and minimum, average, and maximum. And also the average deviation. So this is the deviation from the, by the way, target fuel consumption. Another thing we can have here, this is the engine hours. So actually we can monitor also. So in engine hours, what is it? So when the engine is on, this is the whole event, and during these events we can differentiate to get the what mileage and fuel consumed during motion and during idle periods. Motion means the vehicle, ignition is on and the vehicle is moving, and the idling is vice versa. I mean that ignition is on and the vehicle is not moving. So here we can see the total time for the in motion and idlings. Of course, the target is to reduce the idlings, and also we can get information about the fuel consumed on the motion and by the idle run. So this is very useful information that can be applied for the fleet owners to make wise decision on the vehicle. Probably if the vehicle consumes a lot, so it's high time to change the vehicle, and it would be more efficient in the long run. Also, we have the eco driving. So by the way, eco driving, of course, it's very dependent on the tracking device. By the way, here, every vehicle, I can probably show it to you, we have the criteria that you possible to customize. So in most cases, you can use these presets. You can add the presets and everything will be ready. But if you'd like to have something custom specific, you can create a new custom criteria defining what you'd like to monitor. Or if you'd like something mind-blowing, it's possible to create a custom criteria and select one of the sensors. So just keep it in mind that sensors can be interconnected, and this sensor can be used here in the EcoDrive. It means that you can say monitor, or you can make any activity or many unspecific activity of the vehicle to be create a violation. So, and this can be a part of the rating system for the customer, and then, yeah, like the fleet owner can evaluate the drivers, and as a result, pay more for those drivers that do less violations. So in our case, you can see that over-raving and speeding are used. Also, you can use the idling here, maybe with the is a logic probably, let's say, over-speeding in the rain conditions, or fatigue driving can be used here, or driving during the when the driver not supposed to drive the vehicle, and different criteria here. So as the result in the reports, you'll have the eco-driving table type. So there's the rank of the specific trip. So if you go here, you can find the number of penalties registered for the trip. The penalties are, of course, the average by mileage. So, for example, over-raving. So you can see the detailization, and this is the value over-raving. I believe for the diesel car, this is the huge value. Also, you've got the events from the notification. So everything that was registered by the notification, you can watch here. Another report, the fuel fillings and the fuel thefts, also you can get this information if your tracking device allows you to do. All right, go to the next report template I'd like to show you. Probably this is the detailization by unit. So this is the cold chain monitoring. That is why we'd like to get the analysis of the graphs of the temperature. So there is the temperature in the case, exactly. For the specific vehicle, let's execute it. So let's do it for this time. All right, this is the information. So this is kind of the message by message analysis here, and we can get information about the temperature. And there must be the, let me check, there must be actually the charts, the wireless sensors charts, all right? The temperature, not the temperature, I believe we need to use the custom sensor here. Let's try to use this. Not yet. All right, so let me check this particular vehicle. So we've got different sensors, and we'd like to have, okay, this is the temperature sensor. Let's go to the report template, select the temperature smooth, check. All right, wireless temperature, we need to use any sensor here, any temperature sensors. And as a result, they're going to be the sensor chart. So here you can see the information, how the temperature was changing. So actually, that's it. Some of the values not changing during that time, and some of them, like probably the fuel tank temperature, it is changing. So using this thing, it's possible for us to get information about how the temperature was changing during the time. Actually, not the temperature, it can be any value, weight or revolutions per minute, and probably humidity, anything that you can think of. Yeah, what is more, we have I'd like to show you the rating, the eco driving on drivers. There is a cool report template that I created just for this webinar. It says we're going to get the information about all the drivers with different violations. So as a result, we've got all the trips performed by the driver, and you can see that the different vehicles were driven by the specific drivers, like this and this vehicle. And the eco driving table type, you can see the rating by violations. So this actually, the rank 6 means that this driver is superb. And if you switch to the next page, you can see that some of the drivers not so good, and the rank is 1.9. Means that more penalty points, the less the rank of the driver. Actually, it's possible even to convert the rank into the percentage. So here, if you go deeper, there are different trips, and in specific trips, we can see different violations. So the 2 violations of the harsh cornering with this value in G-force. So this is the way you can monitor the driver behavior of the drivers. So there are 3 main features that you're going to use in monitoring the notification and the reports. Apart from this, I would like to show something more. This is the FleetRun application that we have. Using the FleetRun application, it's possible for us to register different services, or even more, we can create the intervals that will automatically create at the service and schedule. So the fleet owner will know that they need to perform some activity. So there are different services used. So already created, upcoming services, or the services that were archived. Also the intervals, these are the schedules. So if the services that you create something manually, the intervals are the services that will be created automatically based on the specific time or mileage. When the service term is approaching, you'll get the notification. Notification will be sent to Telegram or email. And as a result, in the dashboard, you can see that there are a specific number of services which is due. So you go to the service, you specify its status, let's say in progress or closed, in different bills, documents that the service was performed, and attach different line items. Line items means the inventory. For example, oil used, or the labor that was performed to do this activity. That's it. And as a result, you'll get the report. Let me check. Yeah, you'll get the report that this specific number of the services was done to the specific vehicle. And this is the number of day overdue. This is the demo account, but still, it shows you how it can be done. And probably another thing that I'd like to show you, this is on Wialon again. You can find, by the way, this is on the notification that's triggering in the pop-up window all the time. So another thing that I'd like to show you, these are the tools that can be used especially in the cargo monitoring. So the tools can be found here, and there is the tool routing. So using this tool, it's possible to quickly create the shortest possible route between 2 points or between several points. And these specific routes can be converted into the GFNs that can be used in the notifications. So let me create some points here, probably 3 points. You're going to calculate this route. This is the shortest possible way, and we can save it as the GFNs, probably, and it can be a part of the group of GFNs, and the group of GFNs will be used in the notifications. That's it. I believe that this good feature, and it could enhance the route efficiency for the vehicles. I suppose it's high time to check our questions. If you've got any, Maxim, what do you think? Do we have any questions?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the outstanding presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Let's move to the questions tab. There are a few actually, and all of them from Mr. Josh and Ganga. And the question is, I want to monitor heavy equipment in a quarry where there is limited GSM at the bottom of the quarry. However, the tippers keeps visiting the bottom of the quarry and move out where there is GSM coverage. Please explain a setup whereby the heavy equipment uses GSM in case there is a signal. If no signal, it sends the data via the tipper trucks units when they come to the vicinity. Also clarify how long the data log can be kept by device if the query if no GSM. Well, it's not actually the topic of our presentation. We are talking about here the question is about heavy machinery tracking in mining. However, yeah, let me answer these questions. We don't have many so far. We have a few minutes left, so in case there are some questions, yeah, we have some time to answer them. This is what I'm trying to explain about the part when I talked that we are having solutions that are helping our partners to get telematics data delivered to Wialon if there is no GSM. So, and one of the most popular solutions right now is using Galileosky base block hub. This one special device that becomes the retransmitter or collector of telematics data from other devices. So in those specific vehicles which are moving inside the quarry and the bottom of the quarry, just Wi-Fi devices installed. And this specific tipper, when it comes to the bottom, it automatically collects data from those vehicles. And we kind of build network that helps to deliver data upstairs where there is GSM. So this is the topic of a different presentation, I guess, but we will get in touch with you to explain more. The data might be stored for quite a long time. There are 450,000 points which might be stored in the archive of the device. So it's a lot. We also can have micro SD card which stores 2 million points per GB. So it's more than a lot. So yeah, the solution is widespread and it's widely used by our customers in mining, harvesting, and oil and gas. Whenever there is no GSM, they come for it. So also the next question also, how do this device synchronize the collected data so that there is no duplication in Wialon or any lost data? Well, just briefly, and Sergey, correct me if I'm wrong. So if Wialon receives two messages with single ID, single email, for example, it doesn't receive the second one, so it doesn't highlight it, so it doesn't show it. So as far as I know,
That'd be probably correct. So if there is two messages and the messages will have different time stamp, so the messages will be saved in the history of the unit in the chronological order. So then the data will be in order on the system.
But if the timestamp is the identical and the ID of the object is identical, then you just don't receive the second one, I guess. Yeah. So this solution is working on Wialon widely. So no lost data and no duplication of data either. Yeah, some more questions about this mining requirement. We promise you to get in touch with you to explain more, or have another webinar that will explain this feature more thoroughly. By the way, there is a YouTube channel of ours, and there are some videos that actually describes this feature very comprehensively, and you might visit our Galileosky Worldwide YouTube channel, and it's right there. And yeah, next question from Mr. Joshua is about actually the topic of our discussion, and I believe this is a question to me. Confirm if you have integrated with Thermaking DSR, which is direct smart reefer controller. Well, we do have this solution that helps us to get data from Thermaking controller, but I'm not sure if we ever worked with DSR. But we worked with iBox, which is actually also the product of Thermaking, and we can get information from iBox directly. So if this is the question, we can have it, and we can provide you with more information on how can we get it. But let us once again get in touch with you.
Also, I would say that I remember that there was a project on the IoT Project of the Year ceremony, the IoT irrigation machine from Zero. They were using Galileosky devices, and they also integrate the machinery that was never used before, and they get this pressure and the water flow, and so I think that nothing here impossible to integrate.
Yeah, nothing is impossible. The main thing for us is to have the protocol which Thermaking DSR uses and which it transmits data, and to make sure that there is the serial port which we can connect to. If there is nothing where we can extract data, or if we don't know the order which data is coming to the device, it's quite comprehensive to get it operated. However, yeah, nothing is impossible, you're right, and we can get in touch with you just to discuss the requirements more thoroughly. Yeah, as mentioned, it is possible to integrate new peripheral equipment over RS-232 and RS-485 via EasyLogic, and we can show you how. So yeah, let us briefly look through our chat if still there are some questions.
There was a question, I believe, on the what is the data source for the rain data for the EasyLogic?
Yeah, probably I have answered it during my presentation.
Really? All right.
Yeah, but anyway, I will repeat this one. Well, there are several ways. First, we can just the simple way. Imagine that we are moving, the vehicle is moving in the city, and the dispatcher is in the same city. He looks at the window,
Yeah,
sees the rain, sends command to the tracker. Okay, so all to all the trackers in the field.
but how to automate
So
it? Yeah.
yeah, so quite comprehensive, quite easy, and straightforward. However, yeah, there are some more automated ways that might be used. For example, we can use the CAN parameter for rain sensor, which is might be transmitted over CAN and which we might decrypt eventually, or just get the data from analog sensor of the windshield. So this is actually three essential ways of how we can get the data that it rains eventually now. So that something should be adjusted within the vehicle. All right. Yeah, there is also one message from Mr. Walid Al-Bashir in the chat about zebra barcode reader through RS-232 while the speed is 0 and digital sensor is 1. This is probably the suggestion for explaining how to build algorithm, but I see that yeah, integration of the new peripheral, which we have not yet integrated, is a quite comprehensive process, which might not be described in an hour. It's we have actually the entire YouTube course for it, so it's just it's about coding, it's about having actually some script programmed within the tracker. Um, Eventually, yeah, it's possible, but yeah, we need the protocol once again. So just we can integrate any peripheral if there is serial port. In case we have the protocol, just if you provide us with the protocol, we can show you how we can do it. All right. It seems there are no more questions, and we run out of time. It was hopefully very efficient. We will run a small questionnaire right now. Just please answer or put your vote there. We will highly appreciate it. Let me, while you are doing it, let me just once again thank you for attending us today. Thank you for taking part in this joint webinar. One special thanks to Sergey, who has joined us.
Sorry,
Yeah.
come again? Did I start? Oh no, I just thought that I was stopped the voting. It just was stopped for me, I believe.
All right. Yeah, it's good now. Yeah, just let me thank you for joining us today, and let me thank you for taking time to highlight all the features that we can present and that we can suggest our partners to use to enhance their fleet management system and provide extra value to the customers. And yeah, thanks so much. All right, it's time to finish, I guess. If yeah, just let us say bye. Yeah.
Just say thank you so much, guys. That of course, if you got any questions or you got any specific custom case or you'd like to any interesting requirements, so please let us know and we try to customize that to make it work.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks so much. Have a nice day and keep it safe. Take care.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.